A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television, your daily morning one-stop for the biggest news stories from India and across the world. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this morning's headlines. India rejects the Chinese offer to mediate in Kashmir issue. Centre calls all-party meet to brief opposition on the situation at the border with China and Pakistan. Nagaland governor writes to Chief Minister, asks him again to seek a trust vote in the Assembly by 15th of July. Chief Minister Lizitsu revokes the suspension of dissident T.R. Zeliung and 10 others. Flood situation grim across northeast states. A death toll rises to 80 across Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. Centre offers all possible help. International criticism of China after dissident Liu Xiaobo's death in custody. Nobel Committee says Beijing bore heavy responsibility for the Nobel Peace Prize winners' end. And Venus Williams and Gabrielle Muguruza set up final clash in the Wimbledon women's singles. Men's singles semi-finals to be played today. The top story this Friday morning, the government has called an all-party meeting today evening to brief the opposition about the situation on the borders with China and Pakistan. The meeting will be held at the official residence of Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will also be present. The government intends to convince other political parties to speak in one voice on issues related to Pakistan and China, given that provocative statements are coming against India from both the countries. Statements coming in from China have been especially worrisome. The External Affairs Ministry says that diplomacy is at work with China, and India sticks to its earlier position that Chinese troops should maintain the status quo before 16th of June 2017. Meanwhile, India has turned down China's offer of mediation in resolving the Kashmir issue. New Delhi has once again reiterated that the matter is bilateral. Meanwhile, curfew has been imposed in a valley on Thursday after separatist leaders called for a shutdown on Martyrs' Day. Hurriyat Conference chairperson Mirwais Umar Farooq was also detained by the police while trying to lead supporters towards the Martyrs' graveyard.
Curfew was imposed in parts of Kashmir after separatists gave a Bandh call to mark the death anniversary of the 1931 killing of 21 people by the Dogra army. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti paid floral tributes to the martyrs at the Martyrs' graveyard in Srinagar.
खुशहाल जम्मू कश्मीर जिसमें कश्मीरियत हमारा बुनियादी जो हमारे उसूल हैं उनको याद रखना चाहिए। जैसे अभी हाल ही अमरनाथ यात्रा के बाद सब हम लोग इकट्ठे हो गए, अलग अलग नज़रिया रखने वाले अलग अलग लोग एकजुट होकर हमने उसकी मजम्मत की और इस तरह से पूरी दुनिया को एक बार फिर पैगाम दिया कि कश्मीर की कश्मीरियत अभी जिंदा है।
While no one from the coalition partner BJP was present on the occasion, other PDP leaders and cabinet ministers paid tributes at the martyrs' graves. The day marks the sacrifice of freedom fighters in Kashmir on July 13, 1931, who were gunned down by the Dogra army. The centre, on the other hand, rejected China's offer for constructive role on the Kashmir issue, saying that the central issue between the two sides is cross-border terrorism perpetrated on India. The MEA said India's position on addressing all issues with Pakistan in bilateral framework has not changed.
As far as Kashmir issue itself is concerned, you know that the government's position has been very consistent and clear. We have been ready to have dialogue with Pakistan among other issues on Jammu and Kashmir, but in a bilateral framework.
On Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav, the MEA said there has been no progress on the status of consular access to him.
In terms of consular access to us for Mr. Jadhav, I think there is no progress on that as far as my information is concerned, and also on the visa for the family, including the mother. I think there is no change in the position that was prevailing when we spoke on this the last.
Pakistan, however, on Thursday said it was considering India's request. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj had written a personal letter to advisor to the Pakistan Prime Minister Sartaj Aziz over the mother's visa application. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And amid the ongoing border standoff with China in Dokla area, India on a Thursday reiterated that both the nations can handle border issue through diplomatic means. Now, MEA spokesperson Gopal Bagle said that diplomatic channels will continue to be used to resolve the matter. India had earlier said that differences on the border issue should not become disputes between the neighbours. China, on the other hand, has warned that it will not accept any dialogue till India withdraws its soldiers from what Beijing claims as its territory in Dokla. Now, both the countries have been engaged in a standoff in Dokla area near the Bhutan Tri-Junction for the past 3 weeks after a Chinese army's construction party attempted to build a road there.
उसमें प्रधानमंत्री मोदी और राष्ट्रपति शी जिनपिंग के बीच ब्रिक्स इन्फॉर्मर्स लीडर्स मीटिंग के बाद एक वार्तालाप सा एक संवाद हुआ था, एक कन्वर्सेशन हुआ था जिसमें उन्होंने बहुत सारे मुद्दों पे बात करी थी. एक रेंज ऑफ इश्यूज एज वी हैड सेड दे डिस्कस्ड. एज फार एज डोकलाम एरिया इशू इज कंसर्न, you know, we have diplomatic channels available. The embassies are there in both countries, and those channels will continue to be used.
And now an update on the political situation in Nagaland, and the state governor P.B. Acharya has once again asked Chief Minister Shurozuli Lizitsu to prove his majority on the floor of the assembly on or before 15th of July. Now, the second directive came after the state cabinet turned down an earlier one. In a letter addressed to the Chief Minister late last night, the governor said that Lizitsu did not deny the claims of T.R. Zeliang that he enjoys the support of 44 MLAs in a house of 59. Acharya said that it was not an internal matter of the ruling Naga People's Front as claimed by the Chief Minister. He also claimed that from the materials that have been available to him, it is prima facie appears that the Chief Minister has lost the support of the majority of the Assembly. On the other hand, the Chief Minister revoked the suspension of T.R. Zeliang, who has staked claim to form the government, and 10 others. Zeliang, claiming the support of 41 of the 59 members in the Assembly, wrote to the governor on 8th of July for an invitation to form the new NPF-led government. Lizitsu then dismissed 4 ministers and 11 parliamentary secretaries and suspended them all besides Zeliang from the party. And now on to the unrest in Darjeeling. Now, a Gorkha Land Territorial Administration office was set on fire by pro-Gorkha Land supporters as the indefinite shutdown continued to hit normal life on Thursday. Several government vehicles were damaged, a railway station in Gayabari area of Kurseong and a forest bungalow near Tista River was set on fire. Internet services remain suspended. Now, except medicine shops, all the shops, restaurants, schools, colleges, hotels and private offices remain closed. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee earlier held a meeting with senior officials to take stock of the situation. The Gorkha Land Movement Coordination Committee, which is spearheading the movement for a separate Gorkha land region on Thursday, decided to suspend their fast unto death call, which was called from 15th of July. Now, the next course of action will be decided at all parties meeting of the Hills. Meanwhile, responding to the call of the committee, writer Krishna Singh Moktan returned his Bhanu Bhakta Award, which he had received in 2004. Singer Karma Yunjan too has returned his Sangeet Samman Award.
I am taking side with the movement and I am supporting the movement. And as a mark of supporting the movement against the government of West Bengal, I am returning these are decorative awards to them back.
And the flood situation remains grim in the northeast of the country. The death toll rose to 80 across Assam, Manipur as well as Arunachal Pradesh. Now, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju took stock of the prevailing situation on Thursday and assured all possible central assistance to the states. Here are all the details. The flood situation remains grim in the northeastern states. The death toll has risen to 80 across 58 districts in Assam, Manipur and Arunachal Pradesh. In Assam, rains have affected more than 17 lakh people in 26 of the 35 districts. The Brahmaputra and its tributaries submerged 2,500 villages and destroyed 1.06 lakh hectares of cropland. Around 49 people have lost their lives so far. Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal on Thursday visited flood-affected areas and took stock of the situation. He said that the government was providing all help to the people affected by the deluge.
और रिलीफ कैंप में जो बसे हुए हमारे लोग हैं उनसे मैंने मिला और उनकी जानकारी ली, क्योंकि सरकार की तरफ से जो भी अनाज दिया गया है वो मिला है कि नहीं, तो लोगों ने कहा सही समय पे मिला है और हमारी सरकार की तरफ से जो भी मदद चाहिए हम देने के लिए तैयार है। और हमने आदेश दिया है हर हमारी डिप्टी कमिश्नर को हर जिले का, ताकि जरूरत के मुताबिक आम जनता को मदद किया जाए।
While in Arunachal Pradesh, at least 13 people were killed and one feared missing after a landslide triggered by heavy rains hit Papumpare district. A team comprising of the NDRF and police is carrying on rescue and relief operation.
NDRF टीम और पुलिस टीम लोगों ने बहुत काफ़ी मेहनत किया और कोशिश किया। इसमें 13 लोगों को निकाला गया है।
Union Minister Kiran Rijiju also visited flood and landslide affected areas. Rijiju was deputed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to assess damage caused by heavy rains in the region. First, he undertook an aerial survey of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh and later held a meeting with the district administration officials. Rijiju assured all sorts of central assistance to the states.
Very confident that very soon this restoration and rehabilitation process will be over. Yesterday I had a detailed meeting with the Prime Minister and he has asked me to coordinate the entire North-Eastern region.
NDRF teams are working effectively with district administrations. Meanwhile, Union Minister of State for Development of North-Eastern Region Jitendra Singh called Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal and expressed concern over the damage caused by the devastating floods in the state. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. In Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break here. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
If you see at the time of independence, nearly 16 million ton, 16.5 million ton production was there. But nowadays production has reached to 175 as per estimate, nearly 10 times you can see. Earlier we are talking about the livelihood, but now we are talking about the nutrition security. Certainly vegetable is one. We have developed the 64 varieties in hybrid and all these things, nearly 22 vegetable crops. This is at farmer's field. But nowadays again 20 more varieties in the pipeline.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Bijendra Singh, Director ICAR Indian Institute of Vegetable Research, Varanasi, only on Rajya Sabha Television.
The story we thought we knew. The story of magnificence. The story of bloody battles. Of those who ruled and those who left their footprints. The story charting the course of our past. Talking history on Rajya Sabha TV.
News from the south of the country, and AIADMK chief V.K. Sasikala has been accused of getting a royal treatment in the women's cell of the Karnataka jail. A senior police official on Thursday reported that Sasikala paid 2 crore rupees as bribe to the jail authorities for special privileges. Now, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has ordered a high-level inquiry into the allegations.
A senior police official on Thursday alleged that AIADMK Amma faction leader V.K. Sasikala is getting preferential treatment in the Bengaluru Central Prison. Deputy Inspector of General Prisons D. Rupa made the allegations in a report submitted to the DGP. In her 4-page report, Rupa claimed that a special kitchen had been set up for Sasikala in violation of prison rules. She also alleged that 2 crore rupees were paid as bribe to the prison officials to avail the special facilities. The letter also highlighted other illegal instances inside the prison. Rupa also sought a fact-finding inquiry on her allegations.
When I see something, if I don't report, it becomes a lapse on my part. So I have reported. The report cannot be discussed on media. Hence, I have submitted it to DG Prison. Let him take action. I have given also a copy to the government, and if my report is he finds it false, he has every means to get it inquired again.
However, Director General Prisons H.S. Satyanarayana Rao denied the allegations, terming them baseless. Rao issued 2 memos to Rupa for approaching the media and posting information on social media.
And now after the office hours, this has been sent here. I was not there. Then suddenly it appears in the media. So if a subordinate officer has got anything to do, if she has observed something in a prison, she should come and discuss with me. These are the observations, sir. This is what we have done. Even if she thinks there's an allegation against me, also she can tell me, sir, this is what people are talking. We don't mind. I am open to investigation. Instead of that, going to media and disclosing all kinds of things and without any evidence.
Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has ordered a high-level probe into the alleged irregularities at the central prison.
It seems to have reported the matter to the EDGP also. It is a serious matter, and government has taken note of this, and with all seriousness we will take action on that.
The opposition DMK also demanded a thorough inquiry into allegations made by the police official.
All prisoners should be treated equally. If somebody is given special preference, then that is itself is bad in any prison. That will create commotion among the rest of the prisoners, and it may lead to any trouble. So the government of Karnataka should immediately conduct an investigation.
Shashikala is lodged at the central prison in Bengaluru in a disproportionate assets case along with her 2 relatives. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The National Green Tribunal on Thursday banned the dumping of any kind of waste near the Ganga. The NGT has directed the authorities that no waste dumping should be allowed within 500 meters from the edge of the Ganga river in Unnao and Haridwar, and has imposed a penalty of 50,000 rupees on those who violate the order. It also clearly stated that the 100 meters distance from the edge of the river will not be used for developmental purposes. It has also directed the governments in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand to formulate guidelines for religious activities on the ghats of Ganga or its tributaries. The top Green Court has also called for strict vigil against those who violate its order. And let's get you some more national news in Nationwide. Demanding higher wages, 80,000 nurses of private hospitals in Kerala have decided to go on an indefinite strike from 17th of July. The move is likely to affect the functioning of private hospitals across Kerala. According to the private hospital managements, they would be able to provide only emergency services from Monday in view of the protest call. The Enforcement Directorate has said that liquor baron Vijay Mallya laundered over 1,300 crore rupees through 13 shell companies in the US, Ireland, Mauritius and France. The agency has made this indictment against Mallya in its charge sheet filed on 14th of June in the money laundering case involving the loan of about 900 crore rupees from the IDBI KFA Bank. The Supreme slapped 50,000 rupees as costs on the Ministry of Environment and Forests. It is for not complying with its order on identification and investing over 2 lakh wetlands in the country and notifying the new rules. The Apex Court had in February directed the centre to notify Wetlands Conservation and Management Rules 2016 on or before 30th of June this year. On to the top international story. Pakistan's beleaguered Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif on Thursday refused to step down even as the clamour for his resignation got louder. The demand for his resignation came after the Panama case probe panel recommended filing of a graft case against him and his family. Now, addressing an emergency cabinet meeting in Islamabad, Sharif termed the joint investigation team's report as a pack of allegations and speculation. The 6-member GIT probing Sharif's family's offshore assets and alleged corruption submitted a report to the Supreme Court on 10th of July recommending a corruption case be filed against Sharif, his sons and daughter Mariam. Now, Sharif alleged that the language used in the GIT report displayed malafide intentions. Earlier in the day, Sharif convened an emergency cabinet meeting to chalk out a strategy to counter the Panama case pro-panel's damning report. Now, Nawaz Sharif's party, the PMLN, will be holding a meeting today as well to review the GIT report. Now, China is facing international criticism for not allowing its dissident Liu Xiaobo to be treated abroad for a terminal liver cancer. Now, the activist was serving an 11-year prison term and he died in a hospital in China yesterday. Now, amid the tributes for the late campaigner, the Nobel Committee, which gave him the Peace Prize in 2010, said that China bore a heavy responsibility for his death. Beijing is now being urged to free his wife from house arrest.
We join those in China and around the world in mourning the tragic passing of the 2010 Nobel Peace Prize laureate Liu Xiaobo, who died while serving a lengthy prison sentence in China for promoting peaceful democratic reform.
He was known as one of China's most famous political dissidents. Yet Liu Xiaobo's mild manners and gentle voice belied his conviction for his cause, that is improving human rights in China. Xiaobo died of liver cancer at a hospital in Shenyang in northeastern China. He was 61. His death has caused outrage worldwide, with Beijing being accused of not allowing Liu to be treated abroad.
This is a very difficult moment for Chinese human rights defenders, for people who always want China to become a better society, made effort, made sacrifice, and Liu Xiaobo is one who always will be remembered.
He was a man who, despite all he suffered, continued to espouse the politics of peace. And the High Commissioner is saying that Liu Xiaobo was and will continue to be an inspiration for human rights defenders around the world.
Liu was first jailed for his role in the 1989 pro-democracy movement after the bloody crackdown in Beijing's Tiananmen Square, and later for petitioning for political reform, as well as for a paper on policy towards China that was at odds with the government's stance. In October 2010, while serving his sentence, he was named the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize for his struggle for human rights in China. However, Beijing did not let Liu travel to accept the award, with the organizers forced to place his citation and medal on an empty chair at an event in Oslo.
Chinese government weaved the fiction that Liu Xiaobo was a criminal who was fairly tried under Chinese law, and as if, the entire country would collapse if he was able to speak freely. But as far as Amnesty International is concerned, he was a prisoner of conscience who campaigned for freedom of expression.
Meanwhile, Xiaobo's supporters now say that the international community must now take immediate steps to protect his wife, the poet Liu Xia, who too has reportedly endured years of government persecution. They say that she has been forced to live under constant surveillance and in almost total isolation at their Beijing home.
Our heartfelt condolences go out to his wife, Liu Xia, and all of his loved ones. We continue to call on the Chinese government to release her from house arrest and allow her to depart China according to her wishes.
The Nobel Committee called Liu's death premature, adding that China bears heavy responsibility for the death. Liu's friends say that the Nobel laureate's freedom may have come from his death, but the Chinese government has lost. They hope Liu's ideas and his dreams will spread and will one day come to fruition. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. News from the United States, and President Donald Trump held the door open to a reversal of his decision to pull the United States out of the Paris Climate Accord. Now, this comes after he held a meeting with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron on Thursday. Trump, however, did not say what he would need in return to persuade him to do so. while Macron has welcomed the decision and said that he respected Trump's decision, but France remained committed to the accord. Now, Trump, whose country is the world's second biggest producer of greenhouse gases after China, drew widespread criticism when he announced on 1st of June that he would quit the pact.
The United States remains committed to being a leader in environmental protection while we advance energy security and economic growth. The friendship between our two nations and ourselves, I might add, is unbreakable.
Je suis en désaccord sur la lecture que nous avons de l'accord de Paris et l'importance que cela a. Nous avons partagé ce désaccord, comme on doit le faire entre dirigeants, à l'issue de la décision prise par le président Trump.
News from the grass courts of Wimbledon, and Venus Williams and Gabrielle Muguruza will clash with the women's singles title at the Wimbledon on Saturday. Now, in the semi-finals on Thursday, 5 times champion Williams defeated British Johanna Konta in straight sets to reach her 9th Wimbledon final. Now, the 10th seed American rolled back years in superb display to win 6-4, 6-2 and ended Konta's hopes of becoming the first British woman to reach the Wimbledon singles final since 1977. At 37 years of age, Williams is the oldest Grand Slam singles finalist since Martina Navratilova finished runners-up at the Wimbledon in 1994. And earlier, Spain's 14th seed Gabrielle Muguruza thrashed unseeded Magdalena Ryborikova 6-1, 6-1 to reach her second Wimbledon final in 3 years. The Spaniard kept an aggressive approach from the beginning and was 3-0 up after just 10 minutes. She continued to attack her Slovakian opponent's serve and she wrapped up the match in just 64 minutes. Meanwhile, India's challenge of the tournament ended after Rohan Bopanna and his Canadian partner Gabriela Dabrowski lost their mixed doubles quarter-final match. The 10-seed Indo-Canadian pair lost in 3 sets to finish British Henry Continen and Heather Watson 7-6, 6-4, 7-5. Now, the men's semi-finals will be played today. In the first match, American Sam Querrey will take on 7th seed Marin Cilic, while 7-time champion Roger Federer will face Czech 11th seed Thomas Berdych in the second match. That's all in this edition of News, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks so much for your time.